Hello, everyone. Yes. You are welcome to today's live session. So, guys, like always, we have important information to share across, and that is what we are bringing to you guys this evening. Looking on the screen there, you can see what we have a lot of confusion, concerning one man's identity. Honestly, Nigerians have dug deep to come up with this letter that was written by FBI in 2011, disclosing some information about our sitting president that he didn't attend the said Chicago State. Information is coming at the right time. I mean, at the right time, because we all know that we've been dwelling on this topic, and every day new information keep coming up, because Nigerians want to know. We want to know, and that the judiciary has not even come up with a date for judgment. We keep saying that all these things are happening at the right time, so that the judiciary will also see for themselves. I mean, the judges will see for themselves, as in they will now understand that the Nigerian people, they know the truth, and what they want from them is just justice. So we want to dive deep into this letter from FBI. This letter was not published recently. We know that America came up after the election telling Nigerians that they won't release the record of the sitting president until 2026, I think. Then he must have exit office. But this letter is a letter that was written to the EFCC years. Nigerians have dug deep to unravel it, and there are so many conflicting issues at the moment. No doubt all this is also going to help our judges in making their final decision. So I'm going to be bringing Dr. Tel to take us through this info that just came up recently. Doctor, please, over to you.
Yeah, good evening, viewers. I hope you are set today to enjoy yourself and to get educated and informed. I have I have quite a lot to say about this whole introduction today, but maybe I'll try my best to unpack it as much as I could. Number one is that if I start with this particular letter, I'd like to bring to our knowledge that the information sought by Nigerians, the David Hunde and Co. from FBI, is more like what is called the dossier. Everything you people have on this person, we want access to it. He's living in the US, where he lived, his immigration status, did he commit any crime, what kind of crime, what charges, what penalties, when did he enter, when did he leave, why did he leave? Do you understand? They were asking for the complete dossier, a whole package. And EFC, and I said EFCC, and FBI, maybe for some laws they have, I don't know what's their reason and for that, said they can't, until 2026. I am told that it hasn't been long since FBI declassified the information about the assassination of Murtala Mohammed. But what I don't know again is whether the person in question had become such a high-profile person in America that information about him had become classified information that will require a certain number of years before it is declassified. I don't know. That's what I don't know. Because I know, yes, there are certain sensitive information that need to remain classified until a set time. Did information they have on him become a classified information because he is now a high-profile figure as sitting president? Is his status as a president what made information they have about him to become classified pending until 2026? Or is it something that had been set even before he became president? Is it because he was a governor? I don't know. FBI need to come clean to tell us why they said until it is 2026. Is it the American way of doing things? Is it based on their law and order? Everybody just need to come clean. People are asking questions. Nigerians are asking questions. They just want to know what is the right thing. Is it so? Are we asking so much to say, explain things to us? Don't just rubbish us and say, go to court. Now we are in court, and certain things we need to prove our case in court. You're shutting us down. That's number one. Number two is this letter. No, let's see that letter, which is purportedly written to EFCC under Farida, when Farida was the EFCC chairperson in the time of Goodluck Jonathan. I know that the Code of Conduct Tribunal tried to take a look at what happened with Bola Tinubu then, during that particular period. So the question I'm asking is, did FBI really wrote this letter? If they wrote this letter, can our EFCC deny or acknowledge that this letter is with them? That's my question. Because if indeed this letter was written to EFCC chairman in her official capacity, because it is from Federal Bureau of Investigation, if indeed it was written, remember that the people who came to court to defend APC's candidate, the Wole Olanipekun SAN, they brought letter written by is it FBI or the Consular General, based on the reply of letter written to them by Tafa Balogun, who is now late. So that was a letter written as far back as between 2003 and 2007. If they could bring such letter to the court to use it to make a case that there is no crime on their record against this person, then when the Supreme Court appeal comes, this is a letter that both the PDP can now tender to the Supreme Court that FBI, which is the Federal Bureau of Investigation, has testified that there was no record of this person in their university, because this letter is saying here. Just give me a second. Let me read the content of the letter where it pertains to us. It says here. All right. It says that the said person never was. Oh, I can't find it, but it's trying to say that the person never attended the university or graduated from the university. That was exactly what was written in that letter. Now, according to our Evidence Act, because I am always trying to ask myself, how relevant is this before the law, isn't it? If it is a social media trending thing, after we have finished shouting and screaming, we'll go home and sit down. The judges are not governed by the content of the social media, to be honest. They are governed by what they see in the court. So how can this document be useful in the face of the law? Now, according to our Evidence Act, this document is currently domiciled with a government agency, so it is the property of the government. And anybody can summon it and tender it in court as evidence, and it will be accepted. So, will EFCC admit that this letter is in their record? If it is in their record, then PDP has the power, the subpoena power, to subpoena them to produce this letter and also come to submit it. Because the PDP had alleged that this person has a problem with his schooling. And if the appeal court clears him as a student, then PDP has a right to appeal to the Supreme Court with further evidence to validate their claim. Are you getting the logic now? For me, I am always asking myself, of what use is this information? Is there any way it can become relevant in the face of the law? Yes. You know, before the tribunal started, I used to argue with some of my friends. They are very senior people in the legal practice. I kept telling them, you can't believe it. These people are lawyers. These people are established lawyers. But I keep telling them that not only did EFCC abandon the Electoral Act, that they also rejected what is in their regulations and guidelines. And they kept asking me, but regulations and guidelines are not in the law, are not the law. I said to them, it is the law. I refer them to the case of Kogi State in 2019, after the 2015 stroke 2016. I refer them to that case of Kogi State. So we keep doing back and forth until eventually the Oyetola versus Adeleke came out, and Supreme Court was big. They were big in support of regulation as part of the law. They were big in support of the INEC guideline and regulation as part of the law. Supreme Court was big in support of the manual, training manual as part of the law. And I'm like, finally, the Supreme Court has now recognized. That's why I keep saying that the Supreme Court has recognized 4 documents when they are making their decision. The Constitution that gave birth to all these that gave birth to the Electoral Act, the Electoral Act that empowered INEC to produce guideline and regulation and manual. All of them came together to produce what INEC should do during the election, and INEC violated all of them. The only thing INEC did not violate was invoking the right of the INEC chairman to declare anybody he likes as the president and issuing the person a certificate of return. That is the only thing, only power that was given to INEC, that INEC made sure that they preciously used it to the advantage and to the detriment of the whole Nigerians. So that is it. Now, this
please, before you continue, can you just allow me to play this video, because I think it will help us.
Any amount of money. Let Bola bring out the certificate of his primary school, his secondary school, and the university he attended. We want to see them. Because I remember in 1998 or 1999, when we had the elections, you know, Atiku Yomi was the one, when they raised and pulled his papers that he filled to INEC, they now asked him to produce all those papers. He said he went to Government College Ibadan and the Children Home School in Ibadan. We went there, we checked. What year? Where's your certificate? Nothing. When they were going to hoist him, he quickly said that it wasn't him that signed it, it was Atiku Yomi that filled it. You look at your certificate. If you have genuine certificate, you went to a particular school, you must have friends who, because you won't be the only one in that college. Let's see them. I am shocked that Ogunlewe will be saying this in public. He knows for real that this fellow doesn't have all these certificates, and I'm not hiding it. Let him bring them out. Look, the days of lying and telling a load of bull is over. Completely over. Whatever you have, tell us. If you are from whatever, tell us. Why are you afraid? You must be afraid because you know that people will find out a lot of things that are illegal. That's why.
Yes, Doc, that's all for this clip.
Yeah.
I think this will help
said,
to buttress your point.
yeah, exactly. As I said earlier on, this is wonderful. And even the judges may be sitting in their living room, playing with their granddaughters who are on holiday the day this was released. But if you can't, it's like an aircraft. You can be in the terminal building, you can play, you can jump up, you can hear the announcement of flights being called, you can see people coming out of the arrival room, but there is what is called boarding gates.
But Doc, please, I have a question. We are doubting if Tinubu actually attended a primary school, if he went to a secondary school. And from this letter, this FBI letter now, it is been known to the public that he never attended this university. Does it mean he doesn't have any educational background, or maybe something happened? Because it appears like we have this clip that you'll be talking on later that shows 3 different degrees for one person, So does it mean he did not actually attended this, although this is still alleged to be said that he didn't? But looking at
See, let me put it this way. I was saying something, I was trying to say boarding gates before you cut it, which is okay. And I'm glad that cutting me in has helped me really, as you said. If you don't pass through the boarding gate and enter the door of the aircraft, you will not fly. Let us imagine that the court is the aircraft and the social media on all the information flying around is the truth, or passengers who want to travel. If you don't get in the aircraft, you can enjoy yourself in the terminal building and nothing will happen. In the same way, what Bode George is saying and all the information, it is obvious now that we know the truth, that the world know the truth, even though it says it's alleged, especially given what is here. For instance, in 1992, while filing to then, it was NEC. It was NEC then, National Electoral Commission. What he submitted to them was BSc accounting from Chicago State University. It was Abacha that came and converted it from NEC to NECON. Okay? National Electoral Commission of Nigeria. I remember all those things. First of all, he moved from FEDECO in 1979, 1983. I read that, to NEC, and then from NEC to NECON, and then from NECON to INEC, which was from 1999, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Okay? Now, but it's still the same body, empowered to do the same thing. Now, in 1999, while filing documents for governorship, he submitted BSc Economics from Chicago State University. In 2022, while filing documents for presidential election, he submitted BSc Business Administration, Business and Administration, not even Business Administration. Now, I always want to ask this question: how does it make sense before judges? It's simple here. David Lyons of Bayelsa State APC had a deputy governor who had inconsistency in his name and his qualifications. And he backed all of them with affidavit. PDP went and dug up all those inconsistencies and told the court, we are in doubt of this person. Is this not inconsistency? Could one person have graduated with 3 degrees in the same year? Which university have you attended? I mean, even in overseas these days, or I know a young boy who he's 21, he's graduated, he's gotten his BSc in human anatomy, but he's pursuing medicine. It happens in America, it happens in the UK, it happens. When you're pursuing something like medicine to become a doctor, you do a degree like microbiology, hematology, clinical, something of that nature. So they give you this certificate, you keep it in your bag. If they say tomorrow, your head is no longer matured enough to become a medical doctor, you fall back on what you have before, isn't it? Is that what happened here? Could someone have been given BSc accounting and say, you are too brilliant for our liking? You actually studied for 3 degrees and you end all of them the same year. If that were the case, that person would have been such a brilliant student that the whole world will know him. Information about him will not be in doubt. Information about him will not be in doubt at all. And that is where I think Atiku Abubakar is mounting pressure to prove that this inconsistency actually means that it never happened at all. And that whosoever is telling this lie does not have retentive memory to be consistent in the lie. So, Nigerians, that is it. Which one should we take? The one submitted, and now this same person has gone to tell the university, please don't release anything about my academic record to people asking. Shouldn't you be the person who will quickly run and even before people ask and say, you people know I am your student. I want information about me to be made public so that it will be obvious that I have nothing to hide. So if you see this inconsistency and link it with the fact that this same person is fighting for the real truth to be made public, doesn't that put a question mark that there is something fishy somewhere, something hiding somewhere? That's the way I reason. That's the way I think. So Nigerians, it's up to you to think, it's up to you to reason, it's up to you to ask yourself, where do we? And now my worry is this. My biggest worry. Look at what is happening in Africa. If the foreign countries feels that they have control of you, they are holding you, it means that they can now take advantage of it and make you become a security risk to your own country. So that is it. That's what I have to say. Okay, we haven't even seen this. This was information someone dug up. I like this. Someone dug up this information, and it has to do with the yearbook of the 1979 that is in question. I don't know if this is the Department of the Business Administration, but all the names and the faces here did not show the person we are looking for, we're interested in. In fact, someone has gone further to check the whole of 1979 and 1980 and 1981. And the name we are looking for is not there. So, I think because all these ones, as I say, that is on the social media, they are like people who are in the terminal building of an airport. That does not mean that you're in the aircraft. It's only who is boarded that can fly. It's only if you're boarded. And you know that before you board, before you get to the boarding gate, you have to pass the final security. You have to do final screening again. That is where the court will validate the evidence you present before they can accept it. If my model of airport can help us in understanding the court process. In the same way, you have to pass the final security, which is only done by people who are going to board. That is the same way certain things need to be presented to the court before they are accepted. So, but what I'm saying now is Chicago State University, having seen that the whole world are interested in this person and his record, having seen what is flying on the internet, what is holding you people? But the Chicago State University said that they have only two conditions. The first condition is if the court commands them, compels them to release it, they will release it. Or if the person who owns the document you're asking for say, release my document, they will release it. Just like if I call my school and say that they should send my transcript to another school, they will do it, isn't it? So, even if the court says that they should not release it, shouldn't the owner, whom the whole world is painting black, volunteer and say, please, I have nothing to hide. Release it and let me free myself. That's the way I reason.
Yes, Doc, thank you so much. So for the benefits of those joining us, we are deliberating on this Tinubu certificate saga that has been on the internet for a while now. We all know that America before now said they won't be releasing his information, until 2026. And I could remember one of the days Dr. Ete was saying that what their reason might be so that they can be manipulating him, because once America has your information, they want to keep it to themselves so that each time they want you to do whatever they want you to do, they will use it to threaten the person. You better do it or I release your information. So, and we saw that play out during the Niger coup. So many people were like, he's now a puppet in the hands of the United States. So there was this information that people went on to dig out. I tell you, since this certificate of a thing started trending on Twitter, obedience, across the whole world, they've been working hard to pull out information, from places you can't even believe, do exist. I tell you, they've done a lot of job. You can imagine what we have here on the screen. This is a yearbook, for the year that he said he graduated. His name is not there. Even somebody was saying that if you can trace Tinubu on this list or trace his face on this image, that he's going to give 10 million to whosoever is able to do, because he knows that if his face is not there. So it was like, anybody that can find his face here, you are going to win 10 million. So you can see what is happening. And I'll be playing that video again of this elder statesman, because I think this alone will help to buttress the point that it appears he didn't graduate from this university. Possibly this certificate was gotten from, anyhow means. And that is just what we want the school, the Chicago State University, to come and clear the air and also clear their name from this mess. Because honestly, this is going to dent their image, assuming they finally decided that they will not release this information. But no doubt, we are hoping that the court will mandate them to do so. So let's take a look at this video and we get to what next we have.
Any amount of money. Let Bola bring out the certificate of his primary school, his secondary school, and the university he attended. We want to see them. Because I remember in 1998 or 1999, when we had the elections, Atiku Yomi was the one, when they raised and pulled his papers that he filled to INEC, they now asked him to produce all those papers. He said he went to Government College Ibadan and the children home school in Ibadan. We went there, we checked. What year? Where's your certificate? Nothing. When they were going to hoist him, he quickly said that it wasn't him that signed it, it was Atiku Yomi that filled it. Your certificate, if you have genuine certificate, you went to a particular school, you must have friends. who, because you won't be the only one in that college. Let's see them. I am shocked that Ogunlewe will be saying this in public. He knows for real that this fellow doesn't have all these certificates, and I'm not hiding it. Let him bring them out. Look, the days of lying and telling a load of bull is over. Completely over. Whatever you have, tell us. If you are from whatever, tell us. Why are you afraid? You must be afraid because you know that people will find out a lot of things that are illegal. That's why.
Yes, so guys, we all know that last week, Tinubu told the court not to release his information so that Nigerians bloggers would not dent his image. They would tarnish his image. You know, everybody was like, how dare he say such a thing? If really he has got nothing to hide, how will he tell the court not to ask this university to release his information? And that is what this our father is saying. That why is he hiding? The days of, you know, just coming out to claim anything and you think you just go scot-free has gone. Those days have gone. You can see Nigerians demanding that he comes and clear the air. He should clear his name. He should tell us if actually he went to Chicago State University, if he graduated there, and the Chicago State University should equally come out to tell us if he was once their student. So talking about all these things, we are looking forward to the judiciary giving us, you know, dispensing justice, because there was this case in Delta State that happened yesterday at the appeal court. Somebody said it's just like a litmus test for them. And, you know, the case went in the favor of the Labour Party. Like I titled it that this is the first major win that Peter Obi is getting from the tribunal, because anything that has to do with Peter Obi is a victory that has to do with the Labour Party is victory for Peter Obi. So I'll play this, then Dr. Tell will take us through that as we summarize for today's section. At the appeal court, my people, it is celebration time happening live in Delta State.
Globally.
Obedience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The judiciary is the hope, is the last hope of the common man.
All eyes on the judiciary.
The Court of Appeal today has proven that
Yes,
that technicalities will not be allowed in these matters. Justice must be done and must be seen to have been done. So let us continue to hope and trust that the judiciary will do the right thing in the presidential election petition.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
How do you feel hearing the verdict of the Labour Party Delta State gubernatorial candidate?
Well, I want to say this is the greatest day of my life. My name is Dr. Peter Michael Piper. Now, you see, every time the politicians do this thing they have always done, these transactional politicians, these enemies of the people that consistently derail our country from the trajectory we're supposed to go to. And every time they do this, what do they simply say? If you don't like it, go to court. If you don't like it, go to court. As if the court is an extension of their own criminal network. Today, we're beginning to see the judiciary standing up to its true purpose as the only hope for the common man. Delta State, where we all know that our victory was stolen, has been restored today by this judgment. We're beginning to have a invigorated confidence in the judiciary. Some time ago, we keep saying, all eyes on the judiciary, all eyes on the judiciary. Today, the judiciary have been able to prove that indeed they can be relied upon, they can be counted upon. This is one of the greatest days for Delta State. Delta State has been ruled for the past 24 years by a set of cabal. And this particular set of people, they have Delta State strangulated They have Delta State on a stranglehold. Of all the states in the Federation, Delta State has remained one party for so long. And this is what these people have been doing consistently. Now today, the judiciary have been able to prove that truly there is hope for justice. And I hail the judiciary. I can't express my joy enough. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria, long live all Deltans, and long live the judiciary.
So, by this judgment now, do you now have confidence that the presidential election would see the same fate?
Well, this is just a litmus test of what the judiciary is capable of doing. And if the judiciary can do this for Delta State, we believe that the judiciary can do the right thing for the entire Nigerians. Look at what's going on across West Africa. Democracy in the continent of Africa, in West Africa, in Central Africa, is all being destroyed. And what is happening is because we all know that there is a set of politicians who always plan a civilian coup. And every time they do this, they want to say, well, this is democracy. We need to say that enough is enough. Just yesterday, Gabon lost their fake democracy, and we hope that a true democracy will come out. We see what's going on in Niger. We see it everywhere around West Africa. Now, Nigeria is too big to be subjected to that. This is not a banana republic. This is one of the greatest countries in the world, the most populated place for Africans, for all black Africans. And we say injustice will not prevail in this country. So we hope that this is going to be the beginning of right judgment, and we look forward to this when it comes to the presidential elections petitions tribunal. That's what we're looking forward to.
Thank you, Mr. Capella.
Yes.
Yes, so Doug, all eyes on the judiciary. Let's hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, the most important thing about this clip is that a lot of people are confused. I've read and I've listened to some people calling me, thinking that Pella is walking back to the Osadebe house to become the governor of Delta State. The answer is no. That is not what happened. What happened is that Labour Party filed a petition at the Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal. And for some technicalities that I don't know the details, the petition of Labour Party was thrown out, meaning they did not give Labour Party even a hearing opportunity at the Petitions Tribunal. So, being that Governorship Election Petition Tribunal is at the High Court level, Labour Party now appealed to the appeal court, and the appeal court ruled in their favor, sending them back to the Governorship Elections Petition Tribunal, compelling them to hear their case, to listen to their petition. So what it means is that they are back to square one. The governor, who is a PDP man, has not been removed, but the tribunals are now bound to listen to the petition, to entertain or listen to the petition of the Labour Party. If they eventually come out successful, good. If they didn't come out successful, good. But the judgment here is that whereas they were shut down and not given any privilege or opportunity to even present their case, the appeal court said to them, no, you must hear their case. Even if you're going to discard their case, hear it first. So I think it is nice that Nigerians understand the proper context and what really happened. Thank you.
So, Doc, you can really see how powerful these powers that be, is, honestly, because for them to just throw away their own petition, I think it calls for worry. It calls for worry, looking at what is happening in Nigeria. A petition was written and they just trash it away because they think they have that political influence. I don't know what you have to say about that.
I mean, let's put it this way. politics, and especially politics all over the world, is man chop man, is survival of the fittest. Anybody that has the opportunity goes full cylinders to destroy the opponent, to crush any opportunity they have. I mean, take a look at, for instance, what is happening today. Wike appears in the list of PDP and APC to go and campaign for the governorship in Bayelsa State. Now, Wike is saying, I am still in PDP, but I'm going to Bayelsa State to do a national assignment on that APC government. I don't even know how you figure it. Okay, but let's put it in the right context. Wike inadvertently is trying to say that he's going to use the taxpayers' money to go and campaign. Because if he says that he's going on a national assignment, an unofficial assignment, it means he's going to do it at the expense of Nigeria. Do these people even think? Do they even think before they talk? This Wike is a life bencher. This Wike's wife is a judge. Sometimes when I assess the reasoning of these people, was it not yesterday that the governor, the deposed president of Gabon was saying that talking about term limits sounds sexy, that he does not believe in it, that by the time you get into government, by the first 2 years, you haven't settled down for 7 years tenure. And then he did 7 years and did another 7 years, and he still hasn't settled down. He wants to do 21 years after his father did 42 years or thereabout. I think I was telling you that when we want to end like this, I want to be ending on a good, happy, quiet note. And you like taking me to that place where I just get very, very, very angry before I leave this program. And that is the direction you're taking me now. And I am not going to submit. Because when you think about the mentality, the behavior, the reasoning, the insensitive nature of of politicians, especially in Africa, it just makes you sick. It makes you sick. So, please, let us close.
Doc, thank you for that clarity. Yeah, it's well understood that it's not as if he has been declared winner. He's not the governor of Delta State at the moment. But for the fact that, he still has this opportunity for his petition to be heard, because definitely they are afraid of something. I mean, the opposition, they are afraid of something. So for him to be given this privilege to be heard is, another big win for us, meaning that we are in court now in Delta State, just as we are in Enugu State. We all know that in Enugu State, the chances is there for the Labour Party, and Lagos State, we have great chances if only our judges, would just make up their minds to declare justice, to give us justice. That's just what we are asking. So guys, we'll be ending this live session for today at this point. I want to appreciate you all for being a part of today's session. Thank you so much. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that you get all our updates. Thank you for being a part, and have a very good night's sleep. Bye.
Thank you. Have a great night too.
Bye.
Yeah.